So you can say to me, well, preacher, I know him. Then why don't you trust him? Trust isn't just saying you trust him, by the way. When the boat is shaking all around you, why can't you just sit down and say it's in God's hands? Let him see to it. When the nation is shaking all around you, why can't you just sit and say, God's got this under control? When the world is coming apart around you, why are you taking thought for tomorrow? It's easy to say that the disciples didn't have much faith, but where's yours? Where's mine? They hadn't seen near as much of God and what God can do as you and I have gotten to see. Yes, they saw it in person, but it was just scratching the surface. We've seen God move. We've seen God bring revivals. We've seen God change the hearts of kings. We've seen God change nations. And yet, where's our faith? If we have faith, what are we stressed and anxious about? You can't stand up and say, I have faith, and then go off. What am I going to do? What am I going to do? What if this happens? If you have faith, you'll simply be reminded Jesus is in the boat. So, is Jesus in your boat? If he is, then what are you stressed about? What are you anxious over? What bothers you? Again, Jesus stands up. He says, peace, be still. In the Old Testament, God said, be still and know that I am God. What are you anxious for? What are you struggling with? We don't know who he is. They were terrified after this happened. The reason they were terrified is because they knew the scriptures of the Old Testament said that only God could calm the waves of the sea. And so Jesus is establishing to them, he is, was, always will be God. So if that's true, and he's in your boat, what is it that you're concerned about? Ask it sincerely, because my friends, it amazes me every time I start one of these topics. I'm thinking, maybe I'll have a week's worth. And I always find that God has so much more to expound on than what I think he does in that topic. I hope that you are recognizing as we deal with this, stress and anxiety is destroying people's lives. Panic attacks and all of these things that happen off of this. But what's stopping us from saying Jesus is in the boat? What is it that I'm concerned about?